What's going on, Patriots fans? Happy Thursday. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and I want to hop on here and talk about four main guys, the four main quarterbacks heading into NFL training camp for the New England Patriots. I'm going to be previewing the quarterback room and the battle that's coming up, but I also have three questions for each quarterback that's been lingering on my mind. I know it's been on yours as well, and what these four QBs need to do, must do, have to do in NFL training camp coming up in the next couple of weeks. All right, before that goes on, hate to break it to you, but boss has said if I don't reach 13,000 subscribers by Friday, which is tomorrow, I'm fired. Let me tell you something. I really like this job, all right? I love everybody that works here. I love doing this, love talking to you guys, but if I don't get my quota, I'm fired. Let's not get Allie fired today. That'd be super great. Okay, hit that sub button for me. All right, let's talk about Jerod Mayo and what he had to say about bringing four quarterbacks into NFL training camp. He said, absolutely. That's how I see it right now. We'll have these conversations as the week progresses, but that's how I see it right now. This came after Jerod Mayo actually originally said, you know what? No, we're not bringing four quarterbacks with us. Somebody's going to get cut. But then he changed his mind. He's like, all right, let's see what these guys can do competing head-to-head with each other while you're in pads, while you're actually going 80% here in Gillette Stadium in the next couple of weeks. So I want to break down each quarterback ahead of camp, the questions I have for them, and what they need to do. So I'm going to go from number 4 to number 1. Let's talk about Joe Milton, shall we? The surprise draft pick, at least in my opinion, for the New England Patriots. They picked him on day 3 of this draft. And look, Joe Milton is a freaking animal. He is an alien. What he can do with his arm is unreal. He has the power of 1,000 horses when it comes to his throwing arm. But there's still a lot of questions when it comes to Joe Milton in the backfield. Can he be a quarterback 3? Can he be a good backup? Because right now, he's competing against Bailey Zappe for that third QB spot. He's not really in the running against Jacoby Brissett or Drake Maye in my eyes. And will his inconsistency improve? Because that's the thing with guys who have really strong arms, is trying to hone in on the accuracy, making sure you hit your guy. I always think of Chapman, who used to pitch for the Yankees. I mean, the guy can throw a 105-mile-per-hour fastball, but what does it matter if he can't hit the strike zone? And will he be a successful project for the New England Patriots in the next couple of years? So let's talk about these three questions that I have around Milton. Number 1, Milton was a backup in college. I was actually talking to our friend Petey here at Chat Sports, huge Tennessee Vol fan, same thing here with producer Joey, and he's like, you know what? He was a backup for Hendon Hooker at Tennessee. And not only was he a backup, but he was a very valuable one. He would work with Hendon Hooker in the film room. He would work on him in practice. They became best friends. So Joe Milton could have done what a lot of guys do, and once they go to QB2, boom, they ship out. But he didn't. He stayed at Tennessee. He ended up being a backup quarterback. So he's already proved he can do this role. He can work with QB1s. But in the same breath, I don't see New England letting a draft pick go this early. He's been on the team for 3 months. If you let a draft pick go this early, it looks like a fail to me. It does. It looks like your experiment did not work. If you end up cutting him after training camp, that looks like your pick was a bust. And that's not what a new GM wants to do in New England. So I think that does put a little bit of edge on Joe Milton heading into training camp. So let's talk about the inaccuracy, right? Because it's a little bit scary. A guy that can throw 80 yards upfield, it's going to be kind of hard to project where that throw goes. But I'm not talking about the 80-yard ones. I'm talking about the quick slants, the in and outs, the short and medium passes, which you see a lot more in the NFL than you do those Hail Mary 80-yard bombs. And it's been known that he doesn't have the best accuracy when it comes to hitting his target. And I was talking to Joey right before this show happened. He also doesn't have a good speed rate when it comes to releasing at 80 yards or releasing at 20. It's kind of the same speed, and that's not going to fly really well in the NFL. So for a project to be successful, in my opinion, he's got to work on the QB things that don't come as naturally as his arm strength does. And that's okay. That's why he's a rookie. And I do think this could be a successful project for a backup in the next couple of years. The Patriots have the best foundation right now for Joe Milton. They can craft him into whatever backup they want him to be. That's the beauty of the draft. He's now yours to start off in your franchise for right now. So if they do want to craft him into a good backup quarterback for Drake Maye in the future, I think they could do that and end up being a successful project, but he does have to work on a couple of things. What he doesn't have to work on is how brilliantly strong this man is. And Joey said this tweet has come up several times when he was a Vol. Joe Milton's arm is already legendary. 70 yarders from his knees, 90-plus gas from the mound, wide receivers with double gloves and a jugs machine cranked to 11. I mean, this kid is unreal. There's no doubt about how strong he is, but the question remains, can his strength, can he improve? Can all of that translate into the NFL? We're going to have that answered hopefully in NFL training camp. But for Bailey Zappe and number 3, he has probably the most to fight for here when it comes to answering the questions that are still lingering around this 3-year veteran's head. So here are the top questions that I have about Bailey Zappe. Is there anything left to prove? Is there anything else in his bag? Or has he shown us everything that he is possibly capable of doing? Because if so, it's not looking too hot there for Mr. Zappe. Does he have that dog in him? Can he show me the grit? Can he go into this quarterback battle and show me he can be a good quarterback for the New England Patriots? Can he be just as aggressive as any other quarterback in this league? And then as you guys can see here, that little emoji, you always need a good, reliable truck. Can he be a reliable backup? We've already seen him take the reins when Mac Jones got the bench. And it didn't really end well for Bailey Zappe. So could he still possibly be a reliable backup for the Patriots in the future? That's unfortunately a question we may not be able to see by the end of NFL training camp. So let's take it back a year ago, right? Because here's what I mean by is he reliable? This is when he got the chance to not be the backup anymore and to take the reins in New England. And it wasn't good enough. I know there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things like, oh, we didn't have an offensive line. Everybody was injured. Well, you still don't have to throw 9 interceptions. You can still have more than 6 touchdowns. You can still complete at least more than 60% of your passes. I do think that Bailey Zappe finally got a shining moment, and he just kind of stunk last year. Patriots stunk as a whole last year, but the fact that he went 2 of 10 when he finally did get those reins, that's not showing me that, hey, if you want him to be that backup, he can go in and win you this ball game. That's not showing me anything in what he did last year. And there is still a lot to prove. And I do not know if he has the time to prove it. And let me be honest, I'm actually very excited for Zappe in training camp. I'm excited to see if he proves people wrong. Because this is his last chance if he wants to be a Patriot to prove people wrong. Because I could see him getting the boot after training camp, especially if he cannot keep up with Joe Milton. Not to mention, he's not as big nor as strong as the other 3 quarterbacks. Joe Milton is a big dude. So is Drake Maye. They are the prototypical quarterback types. Jacoby Brissett, obviously, he's been a quarterback in the NFL for a while now, over 30 years old. He's also a big quarterback type. Bailey Zappe has a little bit of a smaller frame, not as much muscle, so he's already got a little bit of an underdog going against him here. So he's really going to have to show how he's different and think outside the box. But in my opinion, there's nothing there. There's nothing left in his bag. And that's okay. I'm sure there's another NFL team that could use a QB3. I don't think we need it. I do not think Bailey Zappe is the Patriots' answer to quarterback 3. But that's just my opinion. I like Joe Milton for quarterback 3. I really do. I think there is a lot more potential with Joe Milton's future than there is with Bailey Zappe's. You can create whatever backup you want in Joe Milton. Zappe, he's already shown you he can't change as much, and there's not a lot left to prove. But what do you guys think? Type JM for Joe Milton. Type BZ for Bailey Zappe. One more time here. If you guys want the Patriots to go live this fall, every Sunday, I am totally all for that. But I got to show the bosses that you guys want it. We need 25 new subs on this video, and that's even if I have a job left. So once again, if you subscribe, it checks off 2 boxes. Hit that sub button for me if you guys want us to go live this season. Now let's talk about the prototype Drake Maye, the number 3 draft pick in this most recent draft, and what all the hype around the Patriots offense seems to be centered around. It's Drake Maye. But he still has questions. He's still a rookie. So my questions here is, will his skills translate to the NFL? Is he overrated? I personally don't think so, but when you are a top 5 draft pick, you're always going to have that, oh, he's overrated, is he going to be a bust? That just comes with the territory. And can he work with a limited offensive line? Because as of right now, the Patriots have not made any moves to enhance their offensive line. And if he's going up tomorrow with the O-line that is presented in front of him, he may get hit a few times. So he's going to have to work with that. So let's talk about his skill set here real quick. Number one, I think he's a genius. I think this kid is brilliant. I know a quarterback when I see one. There are quarterbacks that are very strong. They've got the athletic gift. And then there are quarterbacks who have the mental gift. They know how to think outside the play. They know how to read a defense. They know when to scramble, when not to. The best part is, I think Drake Maye has both. The kid is young in a big family of competitors. He has been taught how to do these things his entire life. He's got a huge arm. Phenomenal arm. He knows how to scramble. In my opinion, I think he's one of the better scramblers in college, even playing in the ACC. And I love how he grasps the playbook. Did you guys see what he did on Hard Knocks? If you haven't, go check out my latest short. I had the clip posted on there. I mean, the kid understands not just the Patriots playbook, but even you got Brian Dable over here from the Giants asking him questions. And I mean, he is like Goodwill Hunting, just spitting out the answers like that. The kid is brilliant. But what he needs to do in training camp is outshine Jacoby Brissett. For Brissett, all he has to do is keep up with Maye. He wins that tie. But if Maye outshines Jacoby and gives no other questions, I do believe he will have the starting nod in week 1. I need to see something that goes, okay, we have to have him out in that backfield starting right now. But you got to think, he's not on his timeline. He's on the Patriots' timeline. And they don't want to repeat the mistakes they've made in the past. They still do not have a good offensive line. They do not want to put a rookie back there too soon and get him hurt. I do not think he's Mac Jones. I think he's a lot smarter than Mac Jones. I think he will try to avoid being sacked at all costs because he knows how to use his feet. But it's the Patriots' call, and it looks like the timeline they're still on right now is keeping Jacoby Brissett as QB1 until they're ready for Drake Maye. But my question to you guys is, when do you want Drake Maye to start? If he shows me something like I just said, something out of the ordinary that I haven't seen yet, or something well above Jacoby Brissett, then I want him week 1. If he's kind of on par with Jacoby in training camp, maybe give me towards a week 5. But let me know what you guys think while I break down Jacoby Brissett, QB1 as of right now ahead of NFL training camp, and of course the questions that follow him, because there are still some. Being a veteran in the NFL, how long can he be quarterback 1? How long can he be a victorious quarterback 1 before Drake Maye takes over that spot and probably never gives it back to Jacoby? Can he stay healthy? With that age is going to come some injuries. That's just how bodies work. I'm 25 and I've had a kink in my neck since Tuesday. It just happens. And then can he compete with Maye? That is what he has to keep up with throughout training camp. So my only thing here is, with Jacoby Brissett, the job is his unless he gets outplayed. If he can play on par with Drake Maye, then the job is yours for a little while. Don't get excited. You're not going to be QB1 the entire year. If you are, then we need to have a very different video that comes out. But Jacoby has played many games in the NFL. That's why they call him a veteran. But he's not a winning veteran. He is 37-45 in his NFL career. We have seen him play on several different NFL teams, most recently playing with the Washington Commanders and competing for the job with another ACC quarterback in Sam Howell. When he finally got the starting nod towards Week 15 last season, he played great. He led the Washington Commanders to an actual win. But then, boom, Week 17, hamstring injury. Boom, Week 18, he's out. You cannot have that with the injuries because Drake Maye is going to take over. But I do believe the Patriots do have a solid quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. Is he excellent? No. Is he a Super Bowl quarterback? No. Is he solid and can get the job done? Absolutely. And that's what the Patriots need right now. Just need a solid QB that you can rely on if he is healthy. But it's not long until Drake Maye takes over, and I'm very excited for that. Drake Maye seems like that kid that does not like being in the QB2 spot for too long. So I am excited for this battle alone in NFL training camp. But let's talk about Jacoby Brissett just for one more minute. What level of confidence do you have in Jacoby Brissett as QB1. Scale it 1 through 10. You guys can tell me how many games you think he'll play, what he'll do in those games, if he'll be more of a mentor, if he'll start to show different signs of athletic abilities on the field. Scale it 1 to 10, your confidence level in Jacoby. As always, if you guys want me to continue being the host here at Chat Sports, which I do, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me.